satisfied now? Been in this corridor 3 times. We ain't seen nothing. You do what you want to do. I'm going back and listen to the radio and have me some supper.
You've heard about the building that collapsed last night. This is what's left of 2 other buildings. The city's still trying to figure out what caused them to collapse.
All the night watchman could tell us was that just before it happened, he heard noises.
Noises? Like what?
Well, he said they sounded like a million little saws or teeth or I don't know. He wasn't much help. Have you found any common denominators?
Possibly one. Ownership of all the buildings has been traced back to a parent company. GDH Enterprises.
Gideon D. Harcourt. They invented the phrase industrial giant just to describe him, I hear. You think it's sabotage?
We really don't have any evidence to that effect. But considering the fact that quite a few buildings in this town are traced back to his corporation.
Well, we'd better find out.
Yes?
Have you had the opportunity to read the newspaper today, Mr. Harcourt? Another one of your buildings is on the front page.
Exactly as you predicted. Now, I don't know how you're doing this or why, but I do know you have a price. What is it?
Hard as it may be for your materialistic little mind to grasp, Mr. Harcourt. I don't want money. I want you to shut down the Easton Chemical Plant.
Ecological blackmail? That's absurd.
You will shut down your operations at the plant immediately. Cancel any and all shipments you plan to make of the EF11 pesticide. And destroy the EF11 formula. Or I will destroy you.
Now, you listen to me. I didn't build an empire heeding threats from people like you, whoever you are.
Well, then, prepare to see that empire crumble, Mr. Harcourt. My name, by the way, is Formicida.
Diana Prince.
Diana, this is Dr. Douglas Radcliffe. We met last year at the Western Securities and Science Conference.
Radcliffe. Oh, right, the chemist.
Listen, I'm being followed. I know who's responsible for those buildings caving in.
You do? How?
I can't talk now. Just meet me outside the old warehouse on Jefferson, 55th at 6:30. No one will be around then. I'll tell you everything, but please, Diana, just be there.
Afraid we lost him.
You may have lost him, but I just heard from another one of my employees. Doug intends to meet someone later. He doesn't know it yet, but he's going to meet us, too.
Diana? Diana?
In here, Doug.
You check back in there.
Okay, boys, the fun's over.
No, Wonder Woman, it's just begun. Dr. Radcliffe and I have an appointment.
Hello, Doug. How's your head?
The least you could do was tell that goon squad of yours to take it easy on me. Especially that witch. What rock did you find her under?
Would you like something to drink?
Stop simpering. I knew you were the one sabotaging Harcourt's buildings. And that's why I'm here, isn't it?
I couldn't let you tell anyone, Doug.
You know, Irene, you just should cut the charming hostess routine because it hardly becomes a jailkeeper.
You should never have sold my pesticide to GDH Enterprise.
Our pesticide, Irene. I worked on it too, you know.
It was wrong.
I needed the money. I offered you half. You wouldn't take that or any of the credit either.
It isn't the money that made it wrong.
You know, most people do what they have to do and then get on with it. You never learned how to do that, have you, Irene?
Lives are at stake, Doug.
You know, Irene, I'm really sorry for making you go through all that.
I don't hold anything against you, Doug.
You don't?
No. Not really.
I believe that. I've always been a decent person. And I'm really sorry that I was putting down what you're trying to do. If you let me, I really would like to help you.
I don't believe it.
Well, it's true. It really is. We've worked together once. We can work together again. Let's clear this whole thing up together. Okay?
Oh, cut it out!
Oh, come on.
Just stop it, Collie!
Oh, come on.
Take him downstairs!
Ridiculous. This is...
I've learned a few things, Doug. I may still be a simpering weakling, but I've learned that there are ways to take care of users like you.
You're in a lot more trouble than you think, Irene. I've already made contact with an IADC agent. It's just a matter of time before they blow your little crusade wide open.
I know who you're meeting. Her name is Diana Prince.
Collie?
This is kidnapping, Irene. Don't make it worse on yourself. Irene! Irene!
Radcliffe, Douglas, Emory, holds a doctorate in biochemistry from Ohio.
That's the one, Ira. I'm looking for any connection between him and GDH Enterprises.
Did you say something else?
No, I was just yawning, Ira. It's because it's late, not because I'm bored.
Perhaps you would like to hear a joke?
No, thanks anyway. Just the information on Radcliffe.
6 months ago, GDH Enterprises purchased a formula from Dr. Douglas Radcliffe.
A pesticide?
10 to 1, he's talking about the pesticide Harcourt's going to start marketing tomorrow. It's called EF11. Have you seen this?
And 10 to 1, whoever is making disaster areas out of Harcourt's buildings is also responsible for Doug's kidnapping.
Doug's kidnapping?
Yeah, I went to meet him, and he was abducted in front of my very eyes by, well, this is the only clue I could find.
Ants?
They literally chewed their way through solid flooring and in an isolated area, like they were being controlled or something. Ira, a quick readout.
You know, what you're saying would sound a lot more incredible if we hadn't just been talking about pesticides.
My thoughts exactly.
Identification of biological life form input completed. Phylum, Arthropoda. Class, Insecta. Order, Hymenoptera. Family, Formicidae.
Okay, in plain English, please.
Specimens are carpenter ants, well known for their ability to tunnel through wood.
Ants. One more thing, Ira. Would you please cross-index Radcliffe and/or GDH Enterprises with anyone in the scientific community specializing in ants?
And give her a readout tomorrow. Do you realize how late it is? Look at this.
Now I do. No wonder I was yawning. Tomorrow, Ira, and sweet dreams. I wonder what Ira would dream about.
I shudder to think.
Good night, Rover.
A roving computer module such as yourself could be of special value in this investigation. Are you ready for programming? Prepare circuits B4 through CF2 for programming. Success achieved again.
Hello?
You failed to shut down the Eastern Chemical Plant today, Mr. Harcourt.
Phone calls in the middle of the night? You're cheapening your act, Formicida.
So it looks like tomorrow I'm going to have to hit a little closer to home.
Sorry, but I'm not frightened.
Yet. Just like you haven't destroyed the EF11 formula yet.
extra security guards arrived a half hour ago and have been briefed, as have the staff. Should she appear, we'll have her, Mr. Harcourt.
Good.
And the Easton plant called. They're sending over some classified material.
That's fine. That's fine.
Place this in the inner office. After it's delivered, I'd advise leaving the building quickly.
Oh, yes, he's expecting this. You may go right up.
Hi.
May I help you?
I'd like to see Mr. Harcourt, please.
Mr. Harcourt has no appointments for this morning.
Oh, well, see, he's not really expecting me at a certain time. I called, but...
You've called?
Yes. I told him I'd be here. You see, I'm sure that Mr. Harcourt will want to talk to me when he finds out who I am.
Guards? Hey, stop her!
Here's the package from the Easton plant, Mr. Harcourt. Your eyes only. And, sir, we just got a warning from the lobby.
She's in the building?
It appears so.
Hi.
You may leave us.
What are you running here, a business or an army?
I would prefer to keep this entire affair away from the press. But if you fail to cooperate, I warn you, I have the power to have you locked up for the rest of your life.
Mr. Harcourt, you've made some mistake.
And I'll not be trifled with by backward-thinking fanatics.
If your guards would give me my purse, I will show you my ID.
You do not want ski resorts. You clamor against nuclear power. And you rail against all progress in the name of ecology.
Did you hear that?
And now, with the world on the edge of starvation, you would deprive it of the one pesticide that would ensure continued food supply. Well, What was that?
It's coming from your office.
What is happening?
My Louis XIV table. My 19th century walnut desk. What in the world?
Ants. Ants, Mr. Harcourt. Ants.
Relax. Take a little break on company time.
And so are we.
It was amazing, Steve. Those ants seemed to be programmed to destroy Harcourt's office. Harcourt was frightened enough to admit to me that someone was trying to make him close the Easton plant.
But not frightened enough to comply.
Right. Which means that whoever's behind this will undoubtedly try something else. He or she is apparently determined to stop Harcourt from marketing the pesticide.
Here comes our man. This must be from Ira. The information you asked for last night. Let's see. Dr. Irene Janis worked closely with Radcliffe in developing the EF11 formula. She's an entomologist with an intense interest in ants. Look familiar?
No, this is not the woman I saw when Doug was kidnapped. In the light of her former relationship to him and her interest in ants, I think maybe I better go visiting.
Got her address right here.
What's wrong with him? Steve, take a look at his ants. You don't suppose that...
Well, I've heard of places being bugged before, but this is ridiculous.
Steve, how did he know that they were there?
Our ever-faithful computer, Ira. Ira told me this morning that he programmed the rover to respond to and even generate electronic patterns emitted by ants.
You mean that he can communicate with them?
In crude fashion, yes.
Well, in that case, little buddy, we are about to take a trip.
Seems that good Dr. Janis is going to have company.
Mr. Harcourt, you've got to look at the latest analysis reports on EF11. We've been testing it on laboratory animals.
I'm going out to the Easton plant.
It has the potential of being more than 100 times as toxic as DDT, Mr. Harcourt. Countries intending to buy EF11 will be using a minimum of 3 pounds per acre, roughly the equivalent of 300 pounds of DDT.
It's supposed to be powerful.
No, but you see, when it combines with water and specific pollutants, it becomes toxic, not just to insects, but to wildlife and eventually to humans. The tests prove it.
Then redo the tests.
What?
Redo the tests.
Rover, can you tell me? Rover! Rover!
I'll be with you in a moment, Diana.
Oh, it's all right, Dr. Janis. Chopin is one of my favorites.
It's not often I have an audience.
Oh, doesn't, Dr. Radcliffe like music? I know he's here, Doctor. I'm not certain why or how, but I know that you kidnapped him, just like I know that you're the one making the threats on Harcourt's pesticide plant.
I'm afraid you're going to regret your involvement in all this, Diana.
The IEDC is involved, not just me. And they know I'm here.
We Crusaders are a dangerous lot.
Aldo.
Right here.
these gates today, do you hear? No one. Let's go.
I can almost hear the questions going round and round in your respective heads. How can a plain, passive, mousy little person like her expect to make GDH Enterprises knuckle under? Well, here, ladies and gentlemen. Here's your answer. A hormonal formula I developed for my ant friends themselves. So weak and shy is what interested me in ants in the first place. This potion helps me unlock those latent and natural abilities in myself, which coincide with those of the ants. I'm an Optra Formicida. They're everything I'm not. Social, well-organized, purposeful, and strong. Did you know an ant can lift over 50 times its body weight? What's the matter, Doug? I'm still not your type. What a shame.
Why haven't you put this discovery to good use instead of...
I am putting it to good use. Go on, Doug. Tell her what I'm doing.
What's she talking about?
The EF11 pesticide formula I sold too soon.
What he sold Harcourt was an incomplete formula. Incomplete because in its present form, EF11, when saturated with ordinary water and exposed to airborne sulfates, becomes a deadly poison.
Our tests weren't really conclusive.
Not when you sold out to Harcourt for over $1 million worth of nightlife, they weren't. But mine were. 2 months later, within 4 years, EF11 will seep into the food chain of those countries using it and cause irreversible damage. It'll make DDT look like nothing.
Harcourt starts marketing it today. I'll help you stop him.
I found out the surest way to see that something doesn't get done is to trust it to government bureaucrats. Collie, Aldo? No. I've made other plans. Goodbye.
Flesh eaters.
Doug, I want you to untie my hands, and I will get us both out of this.
There's no way. I can't reach you.
Move the chair over.
Well, that's not going to help for very long. You need...
Why, just do it.
Rover? We need... Rover, the ants. Tell them to stop, can you?
Cavalry in computer form?
Don't knock it.
I'm not. There you go.
Rover, I love you. Call Steve Trevor at the IDC and tell him what's happened here. Tell him to say that the Eastern plant is evacuated immediately, because I'm sure that's where they went.
You know, there are ants in those things she carried out of here. She must intend to destroy the plant like she did those buildings. Hey, what about you? Are you gonna be okay?
Yeah, I'll be all right. I've got the cavalry on my side, remember?
We're just about ready to start pumping the mixture into the tanks of the loading dock.
Good. Good.
Mr. Harcourt, the plant manager just got a call, sir, from the IADC ordering us to evacuate the plant.
Probably just another crank call.
No, sir. He said that Steve Trevor told him.
It was just another crank call.
Yes, sir.
All set.
Good. The few hundred ants that you placed inside will muster a force of 10 million.
So why do you have to go in? Can't you signal the ants from out here?
Destroying the building isn't enough. I've got to neutralize the pesticides that he's already manufactured. If it spills, it will poison everything within 10 miles.
Come on, Rover, we've got to save the plant. Okay, little buddy, do your stuff. Empty. Rover, do you think you can find those ants and tell them to stop like you did at the house? All right. You're sure? All right. Now I want you to hurry and be careful.
Hey, you! Hey! Nobody's supposed to be in here!
Are you going to tell me that you have not received orders to evacuate this building?
I will not be harassed into abandoning my endeavors by you, the IADC, or anyone else.
Harassed? This whole building is about to come down, Mr. Harcourt. Now stop your operations and evacuate.
That sound.
Diana Vince has proof that the pesticide you're about to market is toxic. Do you really want manslaughter on your conscience? Have people clear the building. Come on.
2,000! The temperature of the mixture has to reach 2,000! We did!
Come on.
No, it's too late. We'll never get out, never! What happened?
I believe it's the cavalry, Dr. Janice.
Rennie, you're safe. And you're Rennie again.
Sorry to disappoint you.
No, look. I'm sorry for everything I did to you. You had to become that creature for the things that I did. I'm responsible for everything.
Save it for the judge, Doctor. Maybe you'll get lucky. Maybe the court will sign you a woman. I'm the one who's responsible for this. And the buildings, and for her. I intend to face up to everything. But do you think after I do, that maybe you'll help me to start over?
Well, this can make you forget how you created Formicida, if that's what you want.
It certainly is.
You know, I can't figure out why that building is still standing.
I'll show you.
Mimi.
He talked the ants out of it?
Well, Diane always said he has a way with words.
over.